Hello, all. Welcome to this lecture. So far we have discussed many topics related to quantitative techniques like operators, uh, proportion, ratios, then simple interest, average, and we have also seen applications of all these formulas. So in today's lecture, we will discuss a previous year question which actually came in the previous year CLAT exam, right? So, as you know, I have already discussed at the beginning that in CLAT exam, quantitative questions of quantitative techniques are generally case based. So, a case will be given to you, will be presented to you, and based on that, there will be some numerical questions where you have to apply multiple formulas related to multiple topics. It can be the same case based questions can be from proportions, ratios, or sometimes in the same problem you have to apply the formulas of average or simple interest or profit and loss, right? So, so if I mean in the same case based question, you it is possible that you have to apply multiple formulas. So we will see such a problem. We will solve such a problem today, where you may have to apply multiple formulas, or it is this question is particularly based on percentage. So apart from percentage, you may have to apply formulas of operators, basic operators, or sometimes ratios, right? So let us see the questions. That first we will read the case study, and then we will solve the questions based on that. So this is the case study. Mr. Das works in a construction company. He lives with his wife and daughter. His monthly total income consists of a salary, so a numerical value is mentioned, which is 9,228, and a 10% house rent allowance. Now this 10% house rent allowance is out of, sorry, this 10% rent allowance should be calculated based on this base salary. So this is the base salary, right? So this is the base salary, and based on this base salary, 10% house rent allowance will be calculated. Now, due to rising in inflation, he carefully manages a household budget that accounts for his income and expenditure. His monthly income is allocated as follows. So there are different heads, different items are mentioned here, as you can see, right? So 25% is uh, I mean, spent on food, 18% on house rent, 9% on entertainment, 23% on education, 13% on medical, and 12% is saved. Rest 12% is saved. So all these are different heads under which Mr. Das actually spent, right? So this is the case study, whole case study, and based on this, there will be different questions. Like this is the first question: if the expenditure on food and entertainment increased by 10% due to inflation, what will be the new percentage? Right? Next question can be how much total money Mr. Das has spent. Then, how much money does Mr. Das pay as house rent? Okay, so in this case, in this kind of question, earlier also I have discussed, in this kind of question, when different heads are given, so what you have to do, you have to uh, draw a summary table, or you have to calculate a summary table based on all this data. So let us see how we can calculate the summary table. So let us see how we will calculate the summary table. So this is a kind of summary table you have to draw, right? So where different different items of expenses are mentioned, right? House rent, entertainment, education, and their respective percentage are written. Now respective percentage I have collected from this information itself, right? Where it is already mentioned that 25% is spent on food and 18% is spent on house rent, then 9% on entertainment, 23% on child education, 13% on medical expenses. So all this information I collected from, all this information related to percentage I have collected from the case study itself, and then I have to find out the actual expenditure, because questions are related to actual expenditure. So now how I will find out the actual expenditure, let us see. So to find out actual expenditure, first we have to find out his total income. Now what is his total income? His total salary is 9228 and 10% of his salary is paid, he received as house rent allowance. So we have to calculate 10% of his salary, which is 10% of 9228. That means 10 by 100 into 9228 will give you rupees 922.8. That is your house rent allowance. So with this total salary, which is 9228, you have to add this house rent allowance. Then only you will get total income. Now out of total income, once you have this total income, out of this total income you have to calculate actual amount for each item mentioned here, for each head. So percentage, given the percentage and given the total income, very easily you will be able to calculate the actual money spent on each sector. Like 25% of total income is spent on food, right? So how we will calculate that? So we will write so this is our total income, and 25% of total income means 25 by 100. So this into 25 by 100 will be the house rent, will be the expenditure on food. So very easily you can do this. You just do it, and with this you will get this amount, right? This is the actual amount you will get if you calculate. So same 18% here. For 18% we will get 10150 into 8 into 18 by 100. So if you just further simplify it, you will get 1827.1. Simplification all of you know, because we are doing this for last few lectures, right? Same for 9%, 10150.8 into 9 by 100. So for all these heads, all these different items, we can find out actual expenditure. We have to find out actual expenditure given this percentage, and we have done this. Okay, so the table is now completely calculated. Where given the percentage, we have found out actual expenditure. Now we will answer questions one by one. So let us move to first question 1, right? So it is the question is, if the expenditure on food and entertainment increases by 10% due to inflation, what will be the new percentage of savings from the same monthly salary? This is a little complex one, because you have to find out the answer in multiple steps. So first what you have to do, first you have to find out how much is the new due to inflation. Since there is 10% increase in expenditure on food and entertainment, how much it has increased your uh, expenditure, right? So for that, first we have to find out what is the new food expenses, okay, how much it has increased, and what is the new entertainment expenses. So there is 10% increase on food expenses. As per the summary table, if we just look at the summary table, our food amount is, actual money spent on food is 2537.7, and actual money spent on entertainment is 913.5. So we will collect this information here, and from this we will get that 10%, there is 10% increase of increase in food expenses, which will come down as this. How we are getting this? 2537.7, and 10% of this, 10% of this will give you the increase amount. Plus, you, to get the actual amount, actual new amount, you have to add this 2537.7, 2537.7, right? And if you add this with this increased percentage, if you add this actual amount, the previous amount, you will get this. Same for entertainment also. So 913.57 into 10%, right? Plus the actual the previous amount. So this is the amount of increment you are calculating. Plus you are adding the previous amount, which will give you total increases 1004.93, right? Now once you got this increased amount, right? So then you have to find out what is the increase in expenditure, what is the increase in expenditure, in total expenditure due to 10% increase in inflation. So the difference for both, so this is the difference for food and this is the difference for entertainment. So this is the increase in food and this is the increase for entertainment, right? And together it will give you increase in expenditure is 345. If you add this two, you will get this amount. So what is your new savings? Your earlier savings was 1218. From the summary table you can collect this information that your earlier savings was 1218. Now if you subtract this increase in expenditure, you will get your new savings, right? And you have to find out a percentage also, that how much, what will be the new percentage of savings from monthly salary. So salary is same, salary is already 10157, sorry, 10150.8. So out of this total salary, what is your current new savings percentage? That will, if you calculate this, it will give you 8.6%. So first, you, for this kind of question, first you have to find out what is your new expenditure on both the items, right? Then you have to find what is the difference, you have to find what is the increment amount, right? What is the amount of increment you have to find, and then you have to subtract this increment amount from the savings account, and then after finding our out percentage, you will get 8.6%, which is our option B. Let us move to the next problem. How much total money has Mr. Das spent on food and entertainment? So it is very easy. So actual amount is asked here. So for food, the actual amount is, you can collect this information for summary table or from here also, 2537.7. Okay, 2537.7. And for entertainment, it is 913.57. 913.57. So it will be actually 2 and 3. Yeah, 3461. So if you add this two, you will get 3461.27, which is option B. It's very easy. Your actual amount is given from the summary table. You just add this two and you will get the amount. Next question is, how much money does Mr. Das pay as house rent? It is also very straightforward question because you have already information with you from this summary table. So as house rent, he has spent 18%. So how much he has, what is the actual expenditure? 1827.1, as you have already calculated the summary table. So from summary table, the answer will be 1827. So it is it is option A. Next question is, which of the following is true regarding the home budget of Mr. Das? So there are multiple options are given. Okay, so you have to find out the true statement. So first option is, the total amount spent on house rent, entertainment and education is greater than the total amount spent on food expenses, medical expenses and savings. So in this case, you have to go by deduction method, where you have to add this all and you have to see which is coming out as correct. Okay, so in this case, since I already know this answer, so in this case, if you see the options is, so for every, there is no other alternative. You have to calculate each summation and you have to see which option is correct. So in this case, if you see that, if you take sum on total amount spent on savings, medical and education, you'll see this total is less than total amount spent on house rent, food expense and entertainment. So in this case, you cannot do anything. You have to all perform all this calculation, and then you have to compare between these three, among these three options. So here it will be option C. You can calculate from summary table. You have actual expenditure, so you can calculate from summary table and you can find it out. Next question is, how much money remains for other expenses after accounting for house rent and savings? Okay, so how much money remains for other expenses after accounting for house rent and savings? So it is also very straightforward question, where you have to subtract from total income the sum of money spent on both house rent and savings. So how much money spent on house rent and saving? From the summary table, you can see from the summary table, on house rent 1827.1 and on medical 1319.6. So it is also very easy. From this summary table you can savings, not medical. So savings is 1218. So from this summary table you can find out this two. Right here I have taken till 3 decimal point, but it's okay if you can take till, I mean, only the integer part. So you have to subtract the summation of the expenses spent on this two from the total income. So if you subtract this, you will get this amount, which is the remaining money. So here we are applying no other formula but formula of operators, different operators for particularly this kind of question or the previous question. In this case, questions also, yes, comparing between two values. So it is here we are applying the formula of operators. Here also it's simply summation and subtraction. So in this way, so it will be option 7105.56. So it is nearest option is 7106. So option C will be the nearest option. So that's why it will be option C. So in this case, whenever you will get such kind of problem that percentage is mentioned or ratio is mentioned, it is better to always calculate the summary table. Once it's okay that it will take some time to find out this, to calculate this summary table, but once you have this complete filled in summary table, you can answer this question automatically. You need not to do any additional calculation, or you have to do very little additional calculation to answer all the numerical question. Okay, so this is for today, this lecture. In the next lecture video also we will solve some previous year question. So thank you very much. Hope to see you all very soon. Thank you.